at least take a look at some of the issues that have been addressed by our two guests on the program today. I'm Professor David Awurawa. I'd like to start with you. The APC convention. Oh, okay, Professor David Awurawa, I'm told, is not yet ready. So let me start with you, Professor Akintenewa. There was this speculation that the convention of the APC will result in an implosion, but it didn't happen. The president met with leaders of the party February 15, March 16. He issued a statement which he directed to the PDP governors, the APC Governors Forum chairman. And, in the last week, he also met with the leaders of the party and insisted on consensus. The president seems to have had his way, and it looks like there is peace within the party now. Now, what does that tell us about the democratic process in Nigeria the morning after?
When you talk about peace, we really need to qualify that peace. The mere fact that you said, well, make or mar, whether the worst scenario will have happened. The mere fact that it didn't happen does not mean that the problem has been permanently resolved. You see, in terms of democracy, you cannot talk about a meaningful democracy in this particular context. You rightly pointed out that the president Muhammadu Buhari interjected. He came in, and in deference to him, quote and unquote, all the aspirants decided to withdraw. And in this type of situation, is that democracy? Those who actually aspired, who felt that they should compete, denied themselves either for party reasons. Democracy is expression of an individual determination to partake in it. But the moment you frustrate it by the intervention of the president, now I am losing to enable another person to gain. Please, when you look at the explanations given by Chief Femi Fani-Kaode and BK Igala, you discover that at the end of the day, they try to give the impression that there is no factionalization. The question you asked, when you said, for instance, when you asked, is it PDP winning, Buhari's a former political party taking the lead, who is the loser? The idea, the explanation being given to us that when the APC was to be established, these various political parties came together. I think they are missing the point. There is faction there. The issue is this. You have Tinubu's group. You have people going for Bello. The mere fact that to have these different groups, they necessarily constitute a faction. Consensus is absence of faction. But when you bring all the factions together to agree to a common objective, then this time you will not say the factions do not exist. They do exist. But they only agree to a common purpose. Please, on the specific points raised by our guests. Let's take some of them one by one and briefly. Fani Kayode gave us lessons on Russian-Ukrainian saga. I think his analysis are imperfecto. He did well. That represents the true history. The issue is simply that Russia has been pushed to the extent that it's now talking about legitimate self-defense. It's as simple as that. He raised the issue of no faction. I've just raised that one. There are factions. And unless we have a new meaning to that. Again, well, you see, on Yaya Bello, he is giving us information from his own perception about his attitudinal disposition. What the Nigerian electorate, we ordinary people of Nigeria, like me, will be interested in.
Are you actually one of them?
Yes, I'm an ordinary Nigerian.
Really?
Yes.
Really? You're sure?
Very, very sure. How am I treated in Nigeria? Am I treated with any special something?
A professor? Former Director General of Nigerian Institute of International Affairs?
Yes, as a former Director General, the management, the federal government of Nigeria still owes me 4 million naira today.
No, you can donate that, Prof.
I don't donate because
you are not no. One of us. See, you are not one of the
no, this money I incurred and that I will take by all means. So if they give me due respect, the government will not treat me like this. In fact,
don't worry. You are on television, international television.
No, hold on.
You are a big man.
No, we must not explain big man from that perspective. 1994, Latif Jakande collected money from all Nigerians. They advertised. I applied for medium-sized something. 1994 up to this time I'm talking, government has not allocated anything, and they collected my money. And then you will say,
no, but you can carry placard on that one. Let's focus on this.
Yes, let me conclude on this issue of Yaya Bello.
Yes.
Telling me he's effective, he's going to be efficient, he has good manners, he has all these things, and telling me the same of Tinubu all along. Please, I am interested in all these candidates telling me what their policy stand would be on restructuring, what their policy stand would be on the speculation of Fulanization of Nigeria, what their policy stand would be on Fulanization, because what is causing problems in the country, the threats of war, because they are now saying, oh, 7 months ago, we're on the brink of war. The war is still imminent because Fulanization agenda, Islamization agenda. Some people believe that our president has really this. And now, people who are coming in should be able to tell us what are you going to do with the report of the 2014 National Conference, which our president said is gathering dust in the something. These are the issues. So people should talk about policies. They should not come and tell us that this man is good, he behaves very well, he has done this in the past. If you did something in the past, what is the guarantee that what informed you're doing good in the past will continue in the future?
Okay, Professor Awurawa, let me come to you very quickly. 2 issues. The APC convention, the morning after, and also Femi Fani-Kayode talking about the Russian-Ukraine war and latest developments.
Thank you very much. On the APC convention, I want to begin by congratulating them by, managing to conclude the convention and getting their executives elected who will run the party for the next few years. Rancor, disagreement, conflict were always expected. They were already there. They've always been there. Even in 2014 when they came together, those things were there. They were brought together only because they wanted to secure power at the center. And since then, there have been complaints that the CPC wing of the APC has been the dominant wing, collecting everything and all that. Which was why, of course, and then we're getting close to election now. There are many interests, many individuals who think that they have what it takes to turn Nigeria around, and they are presenting their positions and their policies. Ability to overcome all of that, to manage to conduct the convention, we must congratulate APC. Of course, there are still issues there that need to be sorted out. How far they go to be able to sort out those issues is another matter entirely. But at least the fact that they were able to hold, you remember the convention was postponed a couple of times. And even the one I heard yesterday, there were this stress that, this feeling that it was not going to hold. But the fact that they managed to hold the convention and there, of course, they have their party officials now elected, is something that they should be congratulated for. But I agree entirely with Professor Kiteniwa that factions are there. And, the issues are by no means settled. Well, it's for them to try to reconcile the contradictions. And it's important. It's important because we have analyzed the political scenario moving forward. The next president of Nigeria will be produced by the political party, likely APC or PDP, the one that is able to present the best candidate to Nigerians, and also the one that is able to reconcile the contradictions that these two parties have. Those two elements will determine which of the parties produces the next president. So ability to resolve these contradictions and resolve or settle these factions will be a major issue in whether APC retains power or not in 2023. So it's important to them.
Okay, Professor. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
On the Russia-Ukraine war, I also agree with Professor Kiteniwa that Russia has legitimate concerns. But I think Putin made a grave mistake in declaring war on Ukraine when he did. We have studied war. We are students of war. When a leader wants to start a war, there are three key issues he first must consider. First, what's the objective he wants to achieve? Wars are not fought as an end in themselves. They are fought as a means to an end. If there are other ways that the objective that the leader seeks to achieve in trying to go to war can be sorted out, he doesn't need to go to war. And to my mind, there are other avenues to resolve issue, that confronts Russia regarding Ukraine's tilting towards the West beyond war. So I regard it as a grave mistake that Putin started war when he did. Second, a leader will consider the possibility of winning the war. Can I win that war? Maybe Putin thought in a few days he will win that war. Well, it doesn't turn out to be so. Third, a leader will consider the cost of war. Will it not outweigh the potential benefits? If the answer is yes, then he can think of, maybe declaring war. These three key issues, I don't think the answer can be in the affirmative from my point of view. So even if Russia has a legitimate ground, for concern and all that, I don't think war, when Putin declared it, made sense. So I think it is generally a senseless war. Look at Mariupol. The place is leveled. In war, armies fight armies, not army bombing civilian, civilian residential places. But that is what is happening. He has not followed the rules of war. And 95% of residents of Mariupol are Russian speaking. What kind of war is that? So when people come around to say they were going to justify Putin, try to praise him, try to say, war is always the last resort. You resort to war when there is no other avenue for achieving your objective. Well, so I think diplomacy, and now is the time for, a drawback.
Professor Aurawo, I understand where you are coming from. I mean, you are so passionate about war. You people are fighting a war against the Nigerian government, ASU. Even Nasu and Sanu, they too are threatening to go to war. So it's a subject you know very well. But the people who are suffering are the students, university students of Nigeria. It's okay, don't worry. We know this thing about warring university teachers and administrators. But quickly, let me bring you into the conversation. Chike Ogea.
What do you want?
Are you also a warrior?
What do you want to hear from me? Both professors have adequately taken care of all the issues at stake. It's just that I might just throw in a few anecdotes here and there. I wonder where you got those two guests from that spoke earlier on, because they both happen to be very, very good friends of mine and professional colleagues. One particularly is not even just a friend, he's a brother, and he was my boss. That was Femi Fanika, like everyone knows. And this business of democracy and politics, sometimes, I see him all the time, we speak all the time. And I tell him, that is he sure he shouldn't have done what exactly I did, which is, after a while, just step out of the whole thing. Because the truth is that the shifting sands of Nigerian politics can be very dangerous. And we pray it doesn't make us do things that people will construe differently, Be that as it may, it was also a wonder and a bother to me why the PDP is sitting down somewhere and hoping the APC would implode. I mean, what work has the PDP done? How is it getting itself ready to get back to power, aside from hoping secretly that something will go wrong with the APC? That's not a strategy to me. I saw videos of some of his leaders, some clowns laughing and saying PDP, APC, watch APC will implode, blah, 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 and all of that. I mean, we are talking about the lives of people here. We've gone beyond clowning around, and this is not a joke. It's a serious business of 200 million people and their livelihoods and what we are doing, with our country. And, for me, I'm happy that at least, I don't care whether it's a piece of the graveyard, whatever kind of piece is going on, but at least there's still a semblance of a ruling party. Yes, it was made of all kinds of factions and they've all come together. Yes, it's looking like the PDP again, from the back door, because the chairman of the party now, a two-time PDP governor, a PDP senator, also I think he used to be a minister under Abacha. So that again tells you exactly where he's coming from and what these old allegiances and connections can be. But like Professor Akinterewa said, what I think is more important to Nigerians, how are we addressing issues of marginalization, issues of inclusiveness, how we can downplay those things that divide us, religion, ethnic, cleavages, and all of that. Those are the things we are looking for. Someone that will come and unite us. Whether you are from the PDP, again, Professor Awurawo spoke to that, and that is very important. Whether it's a PDP candidate or it's an APC candidate, I'm sure what Nigerians are looking for, it's a man that has that stature that can bring Nigerians together. Because Nigeria has never been this divided, in a very long time. All our cleavages are showing. And I don't think that augurs well going forward. So all in all, I'm happy the APC has done what they've done. Good step in the right direction. Let the PDP reply. The case of FFK calling the PDP weakest political party, that I think is almost an insult to the kind of men that are in the PDP. I mean, there's so much more than Wike in that party. Yes, Wike is the governor of Rivers State. Maybe he has the resources of Rivers State to do whatever he thinks he needs to do, because obviously he's investing in the party and, making sure his voice is heard. But I think that's as far as it will go. When the time comes, they all will sit down and, Wike will take his seat as every other governor. Wike is no more important in the PDP than Governor Kowa, the governor of my state. They are both governors of oil-producing states. And I don't think the fact that one might be more boisterous in style than the other doesn't make him more important or anything, you know. And I think Nigeria generally should go beyond this strongman scenario we keep painting and all that. That's not what we're looking for anymore.
Please, Ruben, a question to you.
Strong men has not been what has done anything for us in Nigeria. We want ideas. We want politics of ideas. We want politics of how we can move this country. Look, this is the 21st century. The whole world is leaving us behind. Like you rightly said, we can't run our business right now because of the kind of astronomical bills we're paying on diesel. Are we going to close down that kind of facility? But yet, if we pass the cost to our guests, then nobody will be able to stay there anymore. So please, we need people that will come with neoliberal economics and come and liberalize this place and get Nigeria working again. Whether you are a Bola Tinubu, whether you are whoever exactly. You just come and let's get Nigeria working again. That's all people like us are interested in.
Please, what's the extent of compliance with the new electoral bill? People who go to vote, those who are voted for, is the application of the new electoral law there for them?
No, Governor of Nasarawa State, Governor Sule, made it very, very clear that the APC convention yesterday was properly guided by the new Electoral Act 2022.
Yeah,
Section 84, subsection 9 thereof, and Section 84, subsection 12 thereof. Okay, Section 84, subsection 9 says, you know, consensus candidacy that was adopted.
Yes.
That all the other contending candidates would have a written, you know, consensus agreement. Yeah. And they did so. They observed that. Section 89, subsection 84, subsection 12 says that political appointees, you know, will not be part of it.
That is the one I'm
Or
happy
they
about.
will have resigned their positions before that convention.
And they were not. They did not.
And they did not partake
in the voting.
So we saw
anything.
yesterday the All Progressives.
To an extent, that was
very
fine.
Playing safe.
Yes.
That's very, very
Yeah, because if you remember, in time
Yes.
past in this program, Ruben, I have maintained it and I have said it, that we might be looking at a situation where all of what we are doing is being put on a platform of illegality, and we hope the whole thing does not crumble later on,
So
like they did in Zamfara State.
The APC tried to avoid.
So it was in their interest they did that. Yes.
Well, whether they, you know, they will get away with all of this, and whether the APC or the PDP, the main opposition party, or other political parties, will be able to counter them, it's a matter for the Nigerian electorate. At the end of the day, it seems to me that it's not about political parties. It's about the choice that the Nigerian people make in 2023. And they deserve to be given the opportunity to make an informed choice. That will be the strongest legacy that President Muhammadu Buhari can leave behind. We'll take a short break now. When we return, this program, This Day Live, this Sunday talk show, we continue. We'll be right back. Welcome back to This Day Live, the Sunday talk show here on the Arise News channel. Now let's go to our next subject, very important subject. President Muhammadu Buhari has unveiled the Dangote fertilizer plant, Africa's largest granulated urea fertilizer complex, built at a cost of $2.5 billion. Top government officials and key players in the private sector attended the inaugural event, recognizing this huge achievement for the Nigerian economy. They also had the opportunity to tour the fertilizer complex, the 650,000 barrel per day Dangote oil refinery, and the Dangote polypropylene plant. On the same day, President Buhari also commissioned a new terminal at the international wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport here in Lagos. On the same day, President Buhari also unveiled, as I said earlier, a new terminal for the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The president says the completion of the project is a demonstration that his administration's investment in critical infrastructure is yielding positive results. Well, we have the footage there on the screen, and there you have the President of Nigeria commissioning the new terminal at the Murtala Mohammed Airport. Okay, long expected, but this is right down your alley, Chikioga.
Which one, the terminal?
No, both the investment and also the terminal. You are the businessman who has been involved in so many things.
Fantastic. Great day for Nigeria, especially the Dangote refinery, you know. We're looking at a situation where Nigeria needs at least 3,000 metric tons of fertilizer to service itself and all of that. We have the kind of import substitution that we lose in Nigeria because we don't have all of this. We have to bring them in. What we're looking at with Dangote refinery, it's at least 125 million of import substitution, and we can make at least $325 million from exports of these products from that refinery. This refinery, I gather, it's maybe the second largest refinery in the world. Dangote is a pride to this country,
in Africa.
Definitely. These are the kind of stories we want to start hearing now. These are the reasons why I can look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow in the sense that I don't really care about 2023 and those elections and all of that. These are the things I want to see. Then coming from the angle of the government, just like you said, the terminal, the new terminal, you know, you said was down my alley. It's a thing, it's a beauty, it's thing to behold. Beauty to behold. Although there were some issues, don't forget, this terminal had started being constructed. That's what a lot of people don't know. Since 2013, you should know that, Ruben. Even when President Goodluck Jonathan was there, I think Stella Odua was the minister when the Chinese started most of this construction. And this particular terminal, as beautiful as it is, there was a little snag to it. It does not really have an apron, and it does not have gangways where people can go in, you know.
Yeah, but I understand.
Yes, and all of that.
Demolition.
Yes,
to create.
Because don't forget that AIC hotel, which is where they were supposed to do that. That hotel that belonged to the late Harry Akonde was there. That had that land there, and there were some issues because that land is in court. But they went ahead and built this. Now the big airlines are saying because there's nowhere they can park the bigger aircraft to service that terminal. So whatever you do now, as beautiful as it is, you still maybe have to take passengers by bus from that terminal to the old terminal. And that begins to take away the shine and the functionality of what it should really be. So I think the government needs...
Adi Sirika,
yes,
who is Minister of Aviation.
Yes.
He worked in the Stella Odua administration. Yeah. He's the one pushing
he was a
so
senator.
Is he so absent-minded?
No.
He doesn't know what to do?
At that time, he was a senator, so he didn't have any... he only had maybe oversight responsibilities of whatever the executive was doing. He wasn't in the executive. So that really goes down to that administration and the planning of that airport or of that terminal. But I guess they can sort it out. Thank God, you know, in Nigeria, like we say, after God is government. So government should bring its power to bear, go into the legal process, get this thing sorted out, and then they can make a good apron on that side. Because that terminal building, it's a 21st century compliant terminal building with self-serving, all kinds of amenities in there,
Professor,
all the best you can find anywhere in the world.
On the fertilizer issue. Fertilizer had been a problem in Nigeria since the Second Republic. Okay? Now we have the Buhari administration trying to sort it out. 5,000 engineers worked on the project. About 5,000 more jobs will be created.
That's right.
Nigeria will gain on an annual basis over $2 billion from it. How important is this? Chike has focused on the terminal at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, having been previously managing director of SACOL. So he has an interest in the matter. So he knows the details. But how about the Dangote fertilizer factory, and how that will help the administration's objective of ensuring food sufficiency to quote the president.
I think Shiki has not only said it, quote and unquote, all, but because the little time we have will not allow us to go into details, I am particularly interested in the projection, in the expectation that the fertilizer urea complex will bring, at least in terms of foreign exchange, nothing less than 625 million US dollars.
That's right.
That is very important. Now, meaning that in terms of foreign exchange earning, it's not just oil, crude oil. We are now producing in order to earn income. This is fantastic. In terms of unemployment too, you just told us about the 5,000, about 5,000 people who have been employed directly and indirectly currently. Now, when it takes off, additional opportunities for employment will still be there. More significantly, the mere fact that the fertilizer is the biggest as far as the African continent is concerned goes a very long way that Nigeria is not just a giant in terms of the size of the population, but also a giant in the context of intellectual thinking, looking, to be far-sighted. Yeah, I'm very happy that it is a Nigerian who is championing these type of projects. So it is not one that somebody is telling us how to do it, an American, a Japanese, a European coming to tell us. Now, you now have a black man also sitting like a black man, thinking along against Brown, thinking that I am black and proud. So at least it means that if we sit down, think properly, think collectively, then we can build the black world, build them out from their ordeals. So I like that particular idea. And regarding the issue of a new terminal, I do agree with Shike, an aviation expert on his own right, that, well, there is the need for an apron, a big one for that matter, so that in the foreseeable future, it's not just going to be a situation whereby you make use of bus to carry people. Even though you travel abroad, you go to Heathrow, you go to Chinese airports, you go to Russian airports, they still make use of buses. You can't land in China, the train is there, it will still take you out and in, especially where you have a big airport, and the plane is landing in a tarmac in a place that is far from the immigration hub. So the issue of bus may not technically be the major problem, but what I see as quite determinant, very important in the point you raised, is that, look, we are in the 21st century. We need to build, to respond to challenges of the future. I think we commend them.
Well, Professor Urao, beyond politics, APC politics at Eagle Square, we also have the same week, President Muhammadu Buhari trying to, do some legacy work. The Dangote Fertilizer Plant Company, and also the terminal, the new terminal at the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. How significant will you rate these two developments in your own estimation?
Especially the fertilizer plants. The terminal, yeah, fine. It would add color to the Murtala Mohammed Airport. It will ease the pains of travelers. It will enhance travel, tourism, and the rest of them. So that is highly commendable. The other issues that need to be sorted out, we hope that very soon some attention will be paid to that and solution will be found such that the benefits of that terminal can be maximized. The fertilizer plant is the more impressive of the two projects. More impressive because the impact on the economy and the life of Nigerians is vast. Job creation, foreign exchange earning, food security, making things easy for farmers. You can go on and on and on. And of course, the value chain, all of that you make possible. It's just unimaginable that the feat, what started gradually and slowly many years ago, eventually was commissioned this week. Dangote should be commended tremendously. His capacity for entrepreneurship should be praised and commended. Okay. And that brings me to one issue. Where are the other Dangotes in Nigeria? In the colonial period, when we studied the history of the colonial period and early post-independence period, we come across names such as Odutola, Ojukwu, Badamosi, and the rest of them, who were entrepreneurs and manufacturers in their own rights. Why is it that many of our people, when they make a lot of money, they go to Dubai to buy houses and build hotels and the rest of them? Why not legacy projects like Dangote is doing? Why only Dangote? That is what I think we should interrogate. What can be done to encourage more Nigerians to get involved in this kind of legacy project that Dangote, has, opted for? And don't forget, the refinery is to be. In fact, visually everybody is just waiting for. Just last night, somebody was asking me that during the week they said they have commissioned the Dangote refinery. When would the fuel start flowing? And I said, just hold it, not yet. It was the fertilizer plant that was commissioned. So you get the point we are making. Everybody is just hoping on what will come out of that project, so that more Nigerians should be encouraged to get involved in such projects. In China, in the US, in the UK, it is having many entrepreneurs like Dangote investing in vast projects like this that has made the economy stick. Nigeria can do so as well.
Yes, Professor Aburawo, I think you cannot be more correct. To borrow a famous phrase from Professor Akinterewa here about private sector involvement. And I think that what has been demonstrated with the efforts of the Dangote Fertilizer Company and also the refinery company is that indeed the private sector can make a lot of difference. But quickly, we have just a few minutes to go. Let's take our final topic. President Muhammadu Buhari has deployed the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva, Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, Mele Kyari, and Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, to assess the level of oil theft in the Niger Delta. The development followed public outrage against the massive stealing of Nigeria's crude oil, which had undermined the country's ability to meet the quota allocated by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, had on Monday last week lamented the unprecedented rate of oil theft recorded in recent times and its debilitating effect on government revenue and accretion to reserves. Well, it's not just Emefiele. Before him, there was Tony Elumelu, the chairman of Health Holdings, saying, look, this is a problem. 90% of Nigerian oil being lost. After him, there was also Austin Avuru.
That's right.
Former CEO of Seplat Oil, also saying, look, about 80% is lost. And then, of course, you have the central bank governor coming in and saying, look, this is a very serious problem with regard to foreign reserves. And after that, Benga Komolafe, the head of the Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission, also said, well, based on the government's directive, they are now trying to take a look at how much do we have in reserves How much is the output? All the claims that have been made by Elumelu, Avuru, and Emefiele, are they correct? And all of that. The clear message, of course, is that Nigeria is bleeding because oil, crude oil, accounts for about 90% of foreign exchange. And yet, we're told that it is stolen. You are the only man from Niger Delta here. So, over to you.
It's obviously a massive problem if we have a situation where 95% of our revenues are being lost to oil thieves. Definitely. I think, this stop and jerk, General Irabo, Timi Preye Silva, please move into the Niger Delta. I don't know how effective that would be. We need to find a more coherent and, strategic way of protecting our installations and making sure we get value for this gift, God has given to us. And while we're at this, I think the greater thing we should look at now is the importance of gas. And I know we have an abundance of gas. The war in Ukraine has told us how much money, we can even make more money from gas than we can make from oil. So, you see, I don't know. We just we've not been thinking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Do we have the infrastructure?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what that's why I'm saying we've not been thinking.
Professor Awurawo, I suspect you are also from the Niger Delta. Just one or two sentences. Yes.
Exactly. In fact, my name is Awurawo, not Awurawo, really.
Awurawo. Okay, no problem.
Awurawo.
I stand corrected.
I think I'm a more oil man than even anybody else around because
of course.
My mother has two oil fields in my mother's land in Ozoro and Ilu.
Mm-hmm.
But to come to the main issue, how did it occur that so much of Nigeria's oil is stolen? I mean, where is the security? How did we degenerate to this level where such a large percentage of, Nigeria's oil is stolen? Well, I agree that what needs to happen should go beyond just the Minister of Petroleum Resources and the Chief of Defense Staff being summoned to go to the Niger Delta. Something more coherent, something more definitive, something more effective, we need to, be put in place so that, this trend can be reversed. We all know that our exports is not up to the quota. Our OPEC quota, what we export is less. And, what accounts for that is partly because of, the oil theft. So it's a huge issue as far as our economic sustainability, economic life is concerned. The president has done well by summoning the minister and also the chief of defense staff, but a more coherent approach will be needed such that the issue will be tackled more effectively.
Well, Professor Akindele, I understand some of your kinsmen are part of this problem, stealing Nigeria's crude oil from Ondo State. But briefly, Prof, just 1 second.
Let me tell you, who are the oil thieves that you are pursuing? Who are the oil thieves? I do not believe that there are any oil thieves. They do not exist. President Buhari is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he is the minister of oil. So please, they know if there are oil thieves. So this time, what is the big deal telling us they are talking tough, they are looking at this? Is it the first time they've been stealing oil? So please, we should stop deceiving ourselves.
Prof, what of the people from your area who are stealing oil?
In Ondo State, let me tell you.
Yes.
If there is any state well created by God, it is Ondo State.
There are oil thieves there.
No, please let me tell you. So just a summary. They call it, what's the name? Oma Bori Owo Bori Oma. Now, the language is simply to tell you that on those state people, they don't take rubbish.
Okay.
They don't stay along.
Okay. My mother's soup is better than your mother's soup. We have to go, Prof. You've been watching this live, the Sunday talk show here on Arise News. I'm Ruben Abati. From our entire team here in Lagos, is bye for now. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Thank you.